Hi folks, how you doing? Russell TrueResults303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box. Mind, body, spirit, fitness. Putting the healing back in health. Once again, don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Those links are down below. Join the community. Let's get growing together, stronger, healthier, wiser, closer to God, all these things. Coming at you today with a video on what is a holy hour, or how does the holy hour evolve during our life, right? Because we're always at different stages or different circumstances throughout our life, and what or how can we adjust our holy hour to our lifestyle? So one thing I think we've got to understand, holy hour, for me, coming from a Catholic perspective, right, it's always going to be different, but I think it pretty much is always going to be the same thing. For most Catholics, it's usually going to be an hour of adoration, right? Going to the adoration chapel and sitting in front of the Blessed Sacrament. And that's a great thing. But depending on your life situations, maybe you can't get there. What can you do, right? It could just be reading a spiritual book, reading the Bible, praying a rosary, something along those lines. All those different prayers that we can do. But the one thing I thought that was interesting is there's a Catholic author called, his name is Dr. Edward Sri. Edward Sri, S-R-I. So check him out. I can't remember the book. I didn't buy it. But he has a book on dating. And he was talking about his own life experiences, and then he brought up a holy hour. And he said this is where men and women, when you get married, can have difficulties within a marriage. How a holy hour can actually cause issues within the marriage and the family, right? And he was talking about, because if you get married, then you have a kid, and all of a sudden your wife's tired, the baby's crying, and you're going to tell your wife, sorry, I've got to go to my holy hour, and you're going to leave your wife at home with the kids while you go to church to sit in front of the Blessed Sacrament, right? And I think he said he has like 3 or 4 kids, and he's like, yeah, so if I did that, that would definitely put a strain on our relationship, and my wife would be upset that I'm leaving her to take care of 4 kids to go to church. So he said he was talking to his spiritual director, and he had just had a baby. So we've got to understand too, right, that in the Bible it says a man shall leave his mother and father to join with his wife or whatever, right? The two become one. Same reason why in the Catholic Church priests can't get married, right? Because it always says, and one of the letters, I think it was one of St. Paul's letters, that's where he says, you know, that's why the church believes that the priest shouldn't be married, because like they say, you can't, if you're married, you have too much responsibility and worries of taking care of your family and trying to please God, right? So you're going to go both, you're probably going to stray away from God a little bit and let the marriage, I hope I'm saying this right. It's not sounding good when I'm saying it, you know, but the marriage and the worries of marriage can sometimes be overwhelming. That's why we say our priests should be single so they can give everything to God, right? They marry into God. Same with the nuns. They marry into God. And they don't have the worries of a family and things like that. And they can focus solely on one thing, leading the people. And he said, his spiritual director said, you must remember now that you have a family, that is your number one goal, to make sure your family is good, your marriage is good, and everything is happy at home. So now you must be able to, your holy hour must evolve, right? Now your holy hour will be, instead of going to Mass or going to the Blessed Sacrament, not instead of going to Mass, you always go to Mass, I misspoke there. Instead of going to the church and sitting in front of the sacrament for an hour, your holy hour can now be, instead of making your wife get up at 2 in the morning to rock that baby back to sleep, that's your holy hour. Sitting there with your child, right? Taking care of your child, the blessing that God has given you. That is your holy hour. Maybe you get home from work and your wife's exhausted and she doesn't want to cook. That's your holy hour. Cooking for your family, right? Cleaning for your wife to have a break. That is your holy hour. God understands that now you have a family. He has entrusted you this mini kingdom, right? And now your holy hour will evolve. This can be while you're rocking the baby to sleep. You could be reading the Bible to your child. You could be saying a rosary to your child. You could be praying for your family, right? These are ways that your holy hour evolves as you become a married man and raise a family. So once again, I hope this helps. I hope it's something that you can think about, contemplate about, and figure out ways that God is trying to evolve your holy hour into something that can benefit your family. Because of course, once again, your family is the number one thing. So once again, I hope this helps. Don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Links are down below. Subscribe to this channel. Share and like these videos.